This is Blues View. Coming up, we take a look to see if Birmingham City are in a genuine relegation battle. Hello and welcome to Blues View. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined in the studio by Colin Tatham. Hi Colin.
Hello.
Well, today we're going to take a look at Birmingham City's form, a look ahead to Newcastle as well. But first of all, are they involved in what you'd call a real genuine relegation battle this season?
I think the table doesn't lie. 17 games in, they are where they are, 2 points above the drop zone. The counter argument to that is a couple of wins will lift them to mid-table, but the problem has been all season is getting those wins. They've had 9 draws, only Fulham have drawn more games, and Fulham are exactly where they are in the table as well. So that tells you everything. They have to convert these these draws into victories. It cost them in 2008. They drew too many games. 3 points for a win is massive. So by that token, and their current struggles to sort of carve out and create a lot of chances in the game that are going to give them some breathing space, definitely. No one could sort of turn a blind eye to it. They are in a scrap, and they have to scrap and grind out results to get them into sort of a bit of mid-table security. And as we mentioned before, they're coming into a real tough period, and it's going to be a very big test of their character, their nerve, their resolve, and also their resources.
Now, unlocking defences is one of Birmingham City's key problems at the moment. What can they do to improve that, and what sort of player would they be looking for to get in if they were looking to get someone in the transfer window?
First on that, I think the long-term absence of James McFadden has been a major blow. I think people probably now realise what he did bring to the team when he was there. They could do with a fit and fully firing Alexander Kleb as well. Those two absentees haven't helped. And they need John Beausejour to carry on the promise he showed against Spurs to a degree, but more so when he came on against Wolves. If he can add that little bit of fire to them, that's all well and good. And I think they have to play Craig Gardner regularly. He carries an attacking threat. He drives on forward. And also they have to help the strikers in terms of getting more bodies in the box and giving them better service, and also help them by bringing in players. They cannot go through the whole season hoping that Nikola Zigic and Cameron Jerome can see them through. Jerome carried the load a lot last season on his own, and I know he gets stick, but he needs help, he needs support, and thereby we come down to the January window. Bodies do need to come in, but not just any old bodies, quality players that will make a difference, give them a bit of drive and energy.
And you mentioned before the sort of players who they missed out on in the summer, the Zamoras of this world, someone who's a proven goal scorer and can do that for Birmingham City.
I think the real big miss is what happened with Charles Nzogbia. Birmingham took a stance on him, rightly so, and I can't really see them going back, revisiting that one, but it's a player of that ilk, somebody who can take the ball down the pitch, go past players, make them more dynamic on the counter-attack. And also, I think Alex McLeish seriously has to look at the young lad Nathan Redmond, involving him, coming off the bench maybe to add a spark, and also seriously consider Jordan Much, who has been doing tremendously well at Watford. I know it's the Championship, but the kid has proven himself there, and maybe he could come back in to add a bit of sort of freshness to it and another option, even if it is only on the bench to cover for injuries if they do pick up any more.
And let's have a look a bit more at the kind of the immediacy of the Premier League. It's Newcastle United next, who are going through some troubled times themselves, but their group of players seem to be really solid. They're going to be a tough challenge for Blues.
Yeah, they've come up, they've got the wins, and they've got a regular flow of goals. If it's not Kevin Nolan, it's certainly Andy Carroll, who's been a real handful, and Birmingham would love that sort of attacking fulcrum for them, who knocks people over, gets goals, is a real awkward customer. And Roger Johnson and Scott Daniel will have their hands full with him. And Newcastle, they've had the controversial change in manager, there doesn't seem too much wrong with the way they're playing. They can get results. As I've said before, Birmingham draw too many games. They're out of the habit of finding those wins, and without a doubt they need to win this game Saturday. They really do, to give them that little kick again after the sort of feel-good factor that was generated by defeating Villa in the Carling Cup quarter-finals and getting a good result against Chelsea and Manchester City.
You mentioned the Carling Cup there. Lastly, Tats, Obviously, there's been a trend in the last few years that some of the teams in the relegation battles have gone on cup runs. Is there a danger now that with where Birmingham City are in the league that the cup's going to become a distraction, or do you think that's not right?
It can be, in so much that the fixtures are coming thick and fast, and of course there's another Villa derby thrown in there as well, and they've got Manchester United in January just before the second leg against West Ham. But if you're in a semi-final, you want to get to the final to try to win it. They should deal with it. They should have to deal with it, and then sort out the league form as they go. Because I've said this before and I've written it before. Finals don't come around often, and it's a gift opportunity. Ironically, West Ham are also struggling more so than Birmingham, but you don't pass this up. You try to get to the final, you try to win the trophy, and if it does affect the league form, then I'm afraid they're just going to have to deal with it, and it's something you'd rather be in a semi-final for me than not.
OK, Colin, well, thanks for that today, and thank you for watching. We'll be back on Monday with more Blues View.